number was that? Okay, so this is number 4. Number 4. So we're expanding, right? You're expanding the logarithm. Expand. Okay, what do you have? Log base 5 of a squared b over c3 d4. Uh-oh. Actually, I'm going to put it even more complicated. Change this b to a square root of b. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so the bigger obvious one that you have right now is division. You have this big thing in the top, or everything in the numerator divided by everything in the denominator. So the first thing you're going to do is law number what? Number 2. Law number 2 is division. Division does not mean division. Division does not expand to a division. Division expands to a what? Subtraction, right? So that would be log 5 of the top 2 minus what? Right? Division is minus. Just think of this like division like a minus sign. Minus what? Log 5 of the bottom 2? Oh, that's not a 2, that's a 3. And then isn't this a multiplication when they're like that together? So that's a product. Isn't this law number 1? Yeah, it is. And isn't this one also law number 1? Oh yeah, it is. So these are going to be multiplied. What does multiply mean in the world of exponents and logarithms? It doesn't mean multiply. It means what? Add. So when I expand this one, that would be log 5 of the first one, which is a squared plus log 5 of what? The square root of b. Yeah. And then you got to remember, when you have a subtract, that subtract is going to apply to everything behind it. So you got to remember that, and we saw that in the last example yesterday. And then when you expand this is going to be what? Log 5, right? Because this is going to be law number 1. When you expand it, it'll be a multiply changes to a addition. Why do I keep writing a 2? Then what's going to happen right here with this negative? It's going to go to both, right? And then the only thing, oh, I haven't showed you the last logarithm. Damn it. You know who to change. We can't have radicals. You can only have exponents. So we'll just leave the answer like this. Log 5 a squared plus what? Log 5, instead of that square root, what is that square root going to change to? To an exponent. B to the power of 1/2 minus log 5 c cubed minus log, right? Because this negative gets distributed. Log 5 d, what did I write? Oh gosh. Okay, we're going to leave it like this. That's actually, because you've only learned the first 2 laws. There's actually another step, which is law number 3. That's the one we're going to learn, the last one. So far, there's only 2 laws. Multiply. When you see logarithms like this multiplying, they change to addition. When you see division, it changes or expands to a division to a subtraction. Okay. Now let's see that last the easiest law, the last one of all. Law number 3. Law number 3, I'm just going to write it and you tell me what this means. Log base b, whatever the base is, there's going to be a number here, mk. It has to do something with this exponent. I'm going to call this exponent letter k. Something to do with this exponent. If you have an exponent in a logarithm like this and you have to expand it, something happens to this exponent. Let me tell you what it is. Ready? Equals, if you have an exponent, this is what it means. Okay, anybody can explain that one? What happened? What changed? What changed? What changed? What stayed the same? What is this saying? Whatever exponent you have like this, when you have an exponent like that, you just drop it to the front and it multiplies the logarithm. So like this. Let's say, for example, I have log 3 of a to the 4. This law, this third law, has to do something with an exponent. This exponent, if you look here, it's here, and then it equals to it. Exponent what? How come I'm going to write this in words? Exponent what? Moves down to what? To the front. And what? What does it mean when you move something to the front or you see a little dot right there?
Multiply.
And multiplies logarithm. So if you have a problem like this and you have an exponent, where does that 4 go? So this would be 4 what? 4 log 3a. That's it. You just drop the exponent. You guys get it? Yeah. So that's why I kind of didn't like the way I left the other one. I don't want you to change it. But that's why on this one that we just did, this crazy one that we just did right now, let me go back to it, okay? Is everybody done copying that? Exponent moves down to front and multiplies logarithm. Okay, good. That's it. So you see this one that we have this answer for right here? That's why I'm like, oh, damn it, I haven't showed you the last law, law number 3. You could not leave it like this, right? You can't leave it with these exponents like that. You guys agree? So let's rewrite this one. Just write it over here. Write it over here. This was log 5 of a squared plus log 5 of b to the 1/2 minus log 5 c cubed minus log 5 d4. So now we're gonna apply the third law, law number 3. We're gonna apply law number 3 for all these exponents. The third law, the third rule, the third property of logarithms says that when you're expanding, you can't leave exponents up there like that. So somebody tell me how you rewrite this. What would you rewrite? What would you rewrite for? You just move it down to the front. It's so easy. That's it. There's not any like solving. You're just rewriting stuff. Everybody agree this one will be 2 log 5a? Does that, everybody get that one? This 2 right here. exponent, now you just write it in the front right here. Plus, what about this one? What would you write for this one? Doesn't that go to the front? So that would be 1/2 log 5b. Right, it moves down to the front. What about that one? Minus, right? That's minus what? What happens to this? It's 3 right here. You just write it into the front. 3, right? 3 log 5c. And does this one have an exponent? Yeah. That's going to be minus what? That's it. That's the third law. Exponents, just move them and drop them down to the front and they multiply the logarithm. Okay, one more example. Ready? That's it. That's the 3 laws. That's honestly that's the only 3 things you can do in this world of logarithm, and when you're expanding logarithms, there's only these 3 operations you can do. You can only do multiply, but multiply doesn't mean multiply. Multiply means add. Remember, it expands to an addition. Division does not mean division. It means subtract. And then now when you have an exponent doesn't mean exponent. You just it drops down to the front and becomes a multiplier, a scalar they call it. Okay, last example. What if I have log base 2 of the 5th root of x over, oh no, let me put another letter right here. I'll put a y right here, y in front, like y times that, over w 6. Okay, so the first thing we see a big division here. We do have something for division. So that would be law number what? Law number 2 is division. How do I rewrite this and expand this? Well, it's just the top minus the bottom. Yeah, correct. So that would be log 2 of the top, which is really y times the 5th root of x, minus, right? Division separates into a minus. The bottom, log 2 w6. Just with everything from the top minus everything from the bottom. Okay, that's law number 2. We did it. Now, this one there's really like, well, this one can wait. But here we have something multiplying. What's this when you have a product, a multiplication? That's law number, that's the first one we learned, right? A multiply does not mean multiply. We have to expand that. What does a multiply expand to? Addition. So that's going to be log 2 of the first one plus log 2 of the second one. You guys agree? A multiplication, this product expands, but it doesn't mean multiply, it means addition. And then we're going to copy just the rest over here, minus, 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 and then we still got this, right? Okay, just one little thing we need to clean up. What is it? This. We can't have, we can only have exponents. We can't have roots. You can't have any of these radicals. What is that going to change to? That's going to change to log 2y plus log 2, what is that going to be? X to the power of what? 1/5. Correct. Not 5. It's a fraction. It's 1/5. Okay. Minus log 2w6. Is that the final answer? No. Notice that law number 3, which is the exponents, you always leave to the last. Everybody see everything's fully expanded? Every variable, every piece is fully expanded. There's nothing next to the y, there's nothing next to the x, there's nothing next to the w. But now, these exponents are law number what? We just learned that one. That was this last one that we just talked about today. What happens to the exponents? You drop them down and you write them in the front. Here's your final expansion. Log 2y for this first one. There was no exponent, so it just stayed like that. Plus, what's this one going to be? 1/5 log 2x. All right, the 1/5 drops down. And then what? Minus what? Oh yeah, 6. Oh, you have to drop it down. 6 log 2 w. That's what's going on with this work here. Okay, that's it. You guys can do that assignment now. I don't know if I